Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Megha here from ClearTax. Please allow me a moment to share the PPT. Please confirm if you all can see the PPT. Thank you so much. All right. So welcome to the session. I'm Megha here, your tax expert for the day. So without much ado, let's start the session. The agenda for today is to discuss the various types of ITR filing. So in case you have missed the 31st July deadline to file your income tax return, what are the other opportunities you have? आप कौन-कौन से returns file कर सकते हैं? क्या आप actually returns file कर सकते हैं? We will be analyzing all of those. So to that effect, we will discuss what is meant by belated ITR filing, what is meant by revised ITR filing, and also a new concept, something known as updated ITR or ITRU. Now, this is a fairly new concept amongst the taxpayers. This enables the taxpayers to file their return of income for the earlier years as well. What are the conditions? What are the do's and don'ts? What are the eligibility and ineligibility criteria? We will take a look at it. Then we will discuss documents required for ITR filing, mistakes to avoid while ITR filing, then highlights of budget 2024, the budget which was passed in July. Uske kya highlights hai? How does it impact the taxpayers? We will take a look at that. Then we will do a comparison between the new and the old tax regime. We will be taking two examples wherein we will help taxpayers to understand which regime may be more beneficial for them. And lastly, we will end the session with a live Q&A. So first up, let us look at a belated ITR. Belated ITR refers to an ITR which is filed after the due date, but before 31st December of the relevant assessment year. यानी for the financial year 23-24, अगर आपने 31st July की deadline miss कर दी है, you can still go ahead and file a belated ITR. Belated ITR is a ITR which is filed late. जो आप ITR 31st July के बाद फाइल करते हैं उसको belated ITR कहा जाता है. The deadline to file the belated ITR for the financial year 23-24 is 31st December 2024. All right. अब belated ITR जब आप फाइल करते हैं उसके लिए एक पेनल्टी दी जाती है. That penalty can either be 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. If your total income is less than 5 lakh rupees, आपको देना पड़ता है 1,000 rupees as belated ITR fee. If the total income is more than 5 lakhs, अगर आपकी total income 5 lakhs से ज्यादा है, तब आपको देना पड़ता है 5,000 rupees as penalty to file a belated ITR. अब जब आप belated ITR फाइल कर रहे हो, आप regime के बीच में switch नहीं कर सकते. By default, the tax regime that you have to opt for is the new tax regime. चाहे आपके लिए old tax regime ही beneficial क्यों ना हो, आपको new tax regime में ही belated ITR फाइल करना होगा, क्योंकि belated new tax regime is the default tax regime and वो आपको belated ITR पे follow करना है. In addition to that, आपका interest भी लगेगा under section 234A, B and C as applicable. जो भी interest section आपका applicable है, वो interest लगेगा while you're filing a belated ITR. Another disadvantage of filing a belated ITR is अगर आपकी कोई भी losses है, whether it is loss from house property, loss from business, loss from any other activity, वो आप कैरी फॉरवर्ड नहीं कर पाओगे इफ यू आर फाइलिंग अ बिलेटेड आईटीआर. देन लॉस ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन रिफंड्स, यानी व्हाटएवर अगर आपका कोई रिफंड ड्यू है, जितना आप लेट आईटीआर फाइल करोगे उतना आपका इंटरेस्ट लॉस होगा उस रिफंड पे. टाइम लिमिट टू फाइल द बिलेटेड आईटीआर फॉर असेसमेंट ईयर 24-25 is 31st December 2024. Assessment year 24-25 is nothing but financial year 23-24, the year which just concluded. Next, we have revised ITR. As the name suggests, revised ITR means a ITR which has been revised. ऐसा ITR जो आपने already file कर रखा है, but you revise it. Maybe there have been some mistakes या आपको कुछ rectification करना है, इसलिए आप चाहते हो कि आपका ITR revise हो जाए. That is known as revised ITR. Now, if you're filing the revised ITR, the time limit for filing any revised ITR is 31st December of the relevant assessment year. यानी आप जिस भी असेसमेंट ईयर के लिए फाइलिंग करना चाहते हैं, रिवाइज्ड आईटीआर उस असेसमेंट ईयर के लिए 31st दिसंबर तक फाइल कर पाएंगे. दैट इज द टाइम लिमिट. नाउ रिवाइज्ड फाइलिंग कैन बी अंडरटेकन इन फॉलोइंग सर्कमस्टांसेस. फर्स्ट, अगर आपको करेक्ट करनी है कोई भी एरर या ओमिशन इन योर ओरिजिनल आईटीआर, मान लीजिए आपने अपने ओरिजिनल आईटीआर में अपने बैंक डिटेल्स गलत दिए हैं, या फिर आपने कोई इनकम डिस्क्लोज करना मिस कर दिया है. So in those cases, you can go ahead and file a revised ITR. The second scenario where you can go ahead and file a revised ITR, including income and deductions, if any, which have been missed out in the original ITR. मान लीजिए आपने 80C का डिडक्शन मिस कर दिया हो, तो in that case you can go ahead and file a revised ITR. Modification of any personal information. अगर आपके ITR में आपकी कोई भी personal information, whether it is your housing address, your email, your PAN, or any other banking details etc. has been wrongly entered, तब आप जाके revised ITR फाइल करके उसको करेक्ट कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट, रिवाइज ITR कैन ऑल्सो बी फाइल्ड इन केस ऑफ अ बिलेटेड फाइलिंग. तो अगर आपने कोई बिलेटेड रिटर्न फाइल किया है, उस समय भी आप जाके एक रिवाइज्ड ITR फाइल कर सकते हैं उस बिलेटेड फाइलिंग को करेक्ट करने के लिए. नेक्स्ट अप लेट अस सी ITRU और अपडेटेड ITR. अब अपडेटेड ITR जो है, दिस इज अ वेरी न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट, अ फेयरली न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट जो पिछले 2-3 साल से इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है, wherein taxpayers get an opportunity to go ahead and file an ITR for the previous years. जैसे हमने देखा, रिवाइज्ड रिटर्न और बिलेटेड रिटर्न आप फाइल कर सकते हो, लेकिन उसकी डेडलाइन है ओनली टिल 31 दिसंबर ऑफ द रेलेवेंट असेसमेंट ईयर. हाउएवर जब आप अपडेटेड ITR फाइल करते हो, वो अपडेटेड ITR आप 31 दिसंबर के बाद भी फाइल कर सकते हो. हाउएवर देयर आर सर्टेन टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस व्हिच यू नीड टू फुलफिल. और टैक्स पेयर जो है, the time limit allowed for an ITRU or an updated ITR is within 24 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. आपका कोई भी असेसमेंट ईयर एंड होता है 31 मार्च को. सो मान लीजिए 31 मार्च 2025 को अगर आपका कोई असेसमेंट ईयर खत्म हो रहा है, then in that case you will be able to go ahead and file an ITRU up to 31st March 2027. Because the time limit is up to 24 months. Now let us look at the eligibility criteria to file an ITRU. Firstly, अगर आपका return filing नहीं हुआ है, that is non-filing of return, अगर if you have completely forgotten to file a return of income, तब आप जाके ITRU file कर सकते हैं. Income not reported correctly, if there has been any misreporting, under-reporting, or complete elimination of any income source previously, advertently or inadvertently, you can still go ahead and file an ITRU. अगर आपने incorrect tax rate apply की है, अगर कोई special income थी, मान लीजिए कोई capital gain income which was eligible for taxation at the rate of 10%, but आपने उसकी गलत rate लेके रखी है, तो to go ahead and correct it, आप ITRU file कर सकते हो. Next up, reduction of carry forward losses and unabsorbed depreciation. अगर आपने गलत लॉस कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया है या गलत वैल्यू ऑफ अनअब्सॉर्ब्ड डेप्रिसिएशन कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया है, उसको सही करने के लिए भी आप ITRU फाइल कर सकते हैं. These are the few eligibility criteria. Now let us look at the ineligible criteria. यानी आप कब ITRU फाइल नहीं कर सकते. First of all, in the case of a nil return or a loss return, अगर आपको कोई रिटर्न फाइल करना है या आपने कोई रिटर्न फाइल किया है, उसको आपको अपडेट करना है, एंड आफ्टर अपडेशन अगर आपका लॉस रिटर्न बन रहा है, इनकम नहीं टोटल लॉस आ रहा है, या इफ देयर इज नो चेंज, पहले के रिटर्न और अभी के रिटर्न में अगर कोई चेंज ना हो, इन दैट केस यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू फाइल एन ITRU. अगर आपकी टैक्स लाइबिलिटी में रिडक्शन हो रहा है या रिफंड इंक्रीज हो रहा है, मान लीजिए अगर आपने पहले ITR फाइल किया है, पहले की टैक्स लाइबिलिटी आपकी थी 1 लाख रुपी, बट अपडेटेड ITR में आपकी लाइबिलिटी हो रही है 90,000 रुपीज. In that case, you will not be able to file an ITRU. यदि आपने रिफंड लिया था 1 लाख रुपए का, बट अब ITRU के बाद आपका रिफंड 1.5 लाख तक हो रहा है, in that case also you will not be able to file an ITRU. Then you cannot file an ITRU where an assessment is pending or an assessment has already been completed by the assessing officer. In these two cases also you are not eligible to file an updated ITR. Now let us look at the additional tax liability for an ITRU. अगर आप within 12 months फाइल कर रहे हैं ITRU from the end of the relevant assessment year, तब आपको 25% additional tax liability और interest देना पड़ेगा. If you're filing an ITRU between 12 to 24 months, तब आपकी additional tax liability लगेगी 50% of the tax and interest due. Let us say for example your total tax and interest due is rupees 1 lakh and you're filing an ITRU between 12 to 24 months, in that case, you will have to pay 50% additional tax. That means whatever is the tax due, in this case, rupees 1 lakh, 50% of this, 50,000. So now your total tax payable as per ITRU becomes 1,50,000. Now, the time limit of filing ITRU for the assessment year 22-23 and assessment year 23-24 is 31st March 2025 and 31st March 2026 respectively. So that is to say, अगर आपको updated ITRU file करना है assessment year 22-23 का, तो the last date is 31st March 2025. And अगर assessment year 23-24 का आपको ITRU file करना है, तो उसका time limit है 31st March 2026. Now let us look at documents required for ITR filing. Whether you're filing an original return, revised return, belated return, or even an updated return. These are the documents predominantly required. Form 16, because you're a salaried person, we require both Part A and Part B. Form 26AS, because this stands as the proof of deduction. Then AIS and TIS. AIS and TIS are two documents which are populated by the Income Tax Department themselves with respect to your PAN. So ये आपको मिल जाएगा आपके e-portal पे, आपके income tax portal पे. So AIS and TIS is a summary of all your incomes or all incomes registered against your PAN. So वहां से आपको पता चल जाएगा आपकी total salary income, total income from other sources such as dividend, interest, savings bank interest, FD interest वगैरह कितना है. Next, the other document required for ITR filing is investment proof. Investment proof is required in two cases. अगर यदि आपने कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट आपके एम्प्लॉयर को डिस्क्लोज ना किया हो या फिर आपने एम्प्लॉयमेंट में न्यू रेजीम ऑप्ट की हो, however at the time of filing the return of income you determine that the old regime is more beneficial for you. In that case, this is the list we have to follow. अगर आपको HRA claim करना है तो you will have to give rent agreement or rent receipts along with the PAN of the landlord wherever the rent exceeds more than 1 lakh per annum. LTA के लिए आपको सबमिट करना पड़ेगा ट्रैवल बिल्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट रिसीट्स, हाउसिंग लोन के लिए इंटरेस्ट सर्टिफिकेट फ्रॉम द बैंक, पेट्रोल एंड ड्राइवर अलाउंस अगर आपको क्लेम करना है तो एक्चुअल पेट्रोल एंड ड्राइवर के बिल्स, फ्यूल रिसीट्स, एंड इफ यू वांट टू क्लेम एनी अदर एक्सपेंडिचर तो उस एक्सपेंडिचर के एक्चुअल बिल्स आपको सबमिट करने पड़ेंगे. Now let us look at the highlights of budget 2024. So as we already know, new tax regime is the default tax regime. There have been no changes made in the old tax regime under budget 2024. Standard deduction increase हुआ है under the new tax regime from 50,000 to 75,000 rupees. As a result क्या हुआ है, अगर आप new tax regime opt कर रहे हो तो up to 8.25 lakh rupees of income gets exempted. Then if you are under the new tax regime, deduction with respect to family pension has been increased. 15,000 से 25,000 हो गया है family pension. Deduction with respect to employer's contribution to pension fund. अगर आपके employer on your behalf कोई pension fund में contribute कर रहे हैं तो इसका exemption, इसका deduction increase हुआ है from 10% to 14% of basic salary. Then income from letting out of residential house has to be taxed as income from house property and not as income from PGPP. This is something budget 2024 has clarified. तो अगर आपने आपकी कोई भी हाउस प्रॉपर्टी लेट आउट दी हुई है या रेंट पे दी गई है तो उसके अंतर्गत जो भी इनकम आपको आएगी वो होगी इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी एंड नॉट इनकम फ्रॉम पीजीबीपी. अब विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कैपिटल गेन टैक्सेशन में कुछ चेंजेस लाए गए हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स अब टैक्स होंगे 12.5% पे. ऑल दिस वाइल दे वर गेटिंग टैक्स्ड एट द रेट ऑफ 10%, बट अब 12.5% पे टैक्स होंगे. Or exemption of long-term gains has also been increased from 1 lakh rupees to 1.25 lakh. Short-term capital gain on specified assets shall now be taxed at the rate of 20%. पहले ये rate 15% था, but budget के बाद 20% हो गया है. Also, most importantly, indexation benefit has been withdrawn on sale of land and building. तो अब आपको indexation benefit नहीं मिलेगा. Indexation benefit मिलता था to adjust for inflation with respect to long-term capital asset being land or building. But from 23rd July 2024 onwards, ये indexation benefit हट गया है. Now, if you have made any long-term gain on sale of land or building or both, वो टैक्स होगा आपका फ्लैट एट द रेट ऑफ 12.5%. नाउ ऑल दीज चेंजेस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कैपिटल गेन्स आर एप्लीकेबल विद इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 23 जुलाई 2024. कट ऑफ डेट है 23 जुलाई 2024. उससे पहले अगर आपके कोई भी ट्रांजैक्शन हुए तो आपकी पुरानी रेट्स एप्लीकेबल होगी. बट इफ आफ्टर 23 जुलाई यू हैव डन these changes or these transaction, then the new rates will kick in. Now let us take a look at tax slabs for the different regimes for assessment year 24-25. Old regime में if your income is up to 2.5 lakhs आपका कोई टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. 2.5 लाख से 5 लाख के बीच में 5%, 5 लाख से 10 लाख अगर इनकम है तो 20%, एंड अगर इनकम आपकी 10 लाख से ज्यादा है तो 30%. अब प्लीज ध्यान दीजिए, इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग द ओल्ड टैक्स रेजिम देन द बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट चेंजेस. अगर आप सीनियर सिटीजन है यानी आपकी एज मोर देन 60 इयर्स है तो बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट होता है 3 लाख रुपीज का. अगर आप सुपर सीनियर सिटीजन है यानी आपकी एज अगर 80 इयर्स या ऊपर है तो आपका बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट हो जाता है 5 लाख रुपीज. इन एडिशन टू दैट ओल्ड टैक्स रेजिम में सरचार्ज भी लगता है. सरचार्ज इज टिपिकली टैक्स ऑन टैक्स. तो अगर आपकी इनकम मोर देन 50 lakhs है, सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन आपकी इनकम 50 lakhs है या 1 crore, 2 crores है या मोर देन 5 crores है, the rates of surcharge can either be 10, 15, 25 or 37% और सेस लगता है 4% का. Now let us talk about the new tax regime. Under the new tax regime, income up to 3 lakh is not chargeable to tax. 3 से 7 लाख की इनकम will be taxed at the rate of 5%, 7 to 10 lakhs at the rate of 10%, 10 to 12 lakhs at the rate of 15%, 12 to 15 lakhs at the rate of 20%, and जो भी आपकी इनकम above 15 lakhs है उस पे टैक्स लगता है 30% का. In addition to that, new tax regime में surcharge rates है 10, 15 और 25% और सेस 4% का लगता है. Now please remember, if you're following new tax regime, आपकी बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट irrespective of the age, whether आप 60 years के हो या 80 years के हो, basic exemption limit is unchanged at the rate of 3 lakh rupees. Now let us do the comparison between the new tax regime and the old tax regime. But before we move forward with the comparison, I would like to clarify one thing. ये जो एक्सरसाइज हम कर रहे हैं, this is only for educational purposes. ये सिर्फ आपकी जानकारी के लिए. This cannot be concluded as a conclusive advice, because to understand which regime is more beneficial, there is no straight jacket formula. There is no one size fits all. Today अगर आपके लिए न्यू टैक्स regime beneficial है, आपके ही इनकम लेवल पे किसी और के लिए ओल्ड टैक्स regime beneficial हो सकती है. This is something we derive by understanding all your incomes. आपके अगर कोई losses है, various streams of income. On any typical day, an individual has more than 2 streams of income. आपकी income from salary हो सकती है, income from house property, income from other sources भी हो सकती है. So we have to take into consideration all the income, corresponding deductions. अगर आपके कोई losses है, कोई carried forward loss है, ये सब इकट्ठा करने के बाद, ये सारी information इकट्ठा करने के बाद ही we can arrive at a conclusion whether old and new tax regime is whichever is more beneficial. This exercise is only to help you understand what are the key parameters to be considered. So सबसे पहले हम start करते हैं comparison 1. Comparison 1 के लिए हमने लिया है income from salary both under the old tax regime and new tax regime at 16 lakh rupees. फिर हमने लिया है standard deduction. Under old tax regime the standard deduction is 50,000 rupees. और new tax regime में after budget 2024 standard deduction बढ़ाया गया है, so we have taken 75,000 rupees. Now the gross total income is 15,50,000 under old tax regime, and under the new tax regime it is 15,25,000. अब बात करते हैं deductions की. तो इस example के लिए हमने old tax regime में लिए all the deductions and exemptions available at the maximum capacity. ठीक है? तो interest on housing loan under the old tax regime is available. The maximum amount available is 2 lakh rupees. Interest on housing loan deduction is not available under the new tax regime, इसलिए हमने लिया नहीं है. ATC का maximum limit है 1,50,000 जो सिर्फ old tax regime में available है, तो हमने वो लिया है. ATC includes your FD investment, EPF, सुकन्या समृद्धि scheme, FD, EPF वगैरह. Then we talk about 80D. 80D है medical insurance के लिए. The maximum limit is 50,000. New tax regime में available नहीं है. That is the reason we have skipped it. Then 80CCD1B, which is additional contribution to pension. तो अगर आप अपनी individual capacity में कोई pension के लिए contribute कर रहे हैं, तो the Income Tax Act gives you additional deduction of 50,000. This is available only under the old tax regime. इसलिए हमने उसको लिया है only under the old tax regime. Under the new tax regime, it is not available, so we have skipped it. Next, 80CCD2. 80CCD2 है आपका employer's contribution to pension. If you remember, कुछ स्लाइड पहले हमने डिस्कस किया था, अगर आपने न्यू टैक्स regime को ऑप्ट किया है, so in that case, employer's contribution to pension has been increased from 10 to 14%. So if your employer is contributing, so it is available both under the old tax regime and the new tax regime. इसलिए हमने दोनों जगह लिया है 50,000. Now the total taxable income under the old regime is 10,50,000 and under the new tax regime it is 14,75,000. Now let us take a look at the taxation. Under comparison 1, the total tax payable including cess at the rate of 4% is 1,32,600. Under the new tax regime, the total tax including cess is 1,40,400 rupees. Now, before we do a deep dive, let us take comparison 2. In comparison 2, once again we start income from salary at the rate of 16 lakh, both under the old tax regime and the new tax regime. अब standard deduction हमने ली है 50,000 and 75,000. Gross total income हो गई है 15,50,000 and 15,25,000. अब deductions के लिए for comparison 2, we have taken only that deduction which is available both under the old tax regime and the new tax regime. So हमको पता है कि employer's contribution to pension is available both under the old tax regime and the new tax regime. So 50,000 हमने दोनों जगह पे ली है. Now the total taxable income under old tax regime is 15 lakh rupees. Under the new tax regime it is 14,75,000 rupees. अगर आप ध्यान देंगे तो देखिए under the new tax regime आपकी income both under comparison 1 and 2 is unchanged. आपकी total taxable income in both cases is 14,75,000. However, under the new tax regime there has been a change. In comparison 1, your total income under the old regime was 10,50,000. Under comparison 2, it is 15 lakh. अब comparison 2 के taxes देखते हैं. Under the old tax regime, the total tax payable in comparison 2 is 2,73,000 including cess. And under the new tax regime, it is unchanged at 1,40,400 rupees. So now let us analyze comparison 1 and 2. If you see in comparison 1, we had taken all the deductions and exemptions applicable. हमने सारे deductions exhaust कर दिए, इसलिए हमारी total taxable income कम थी. Now when the income is less, automatically taxes भी कम होते हैं. That is the reason the tax payable in comparison 1 in the old tax regime is 1,32,600. Now in comparison 2 अगर आप देखें तो आपके deductions बिल्कुल भी नहीं लिए गए हैं. As a result, आपकी total taxable income बढ़ गई है to 15 lakh rupees. Consequently, आपके taxes भी ज़्यादा है. Because your income is 15 lakh, आपका total tax payable भी 2,73,000 पे है. However, under the new tax regime, it is unchanged. आपका income भी 14,75,000 है और consequently आपका tax भी 1,40,400 है. तो इससे हमें क्या सीख मिलती है या क्या conclusion draw कर सकते हैं? If you are an individual जिसने सारे डिडक्शन इनकम टैक्स एक्ट के सारे एग्जेम्पशंस और डिडक्शंस का पूरा उपयोग किया है, इन दैट केस आपकी टोटल इनकम कम हो सकती है. एंड अगर आपकी टोटल इनकम कम हो जाए देन ऑटोमेटिकली आपके टैक्सेस भी कम हो जाते हैं. हाउएवर, इफ यू आर एन इंडिविजुअल जिसकी कोई भी सेविंग्स नहीं है, फॉर सम रीजन यू आर नॉट एबल टू सेव या फिर आपके ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं है, इन दैट केस द न्यू टैक्स रेजिम मे बी मोर बेनिफिशियल. Once again, I repeat, this is only for educational purposes. There is no one size fits all. Every individual has a unique scenario, has unique incomes, carry forward of losses, unique deductions, investments, etc. So this is an exercise that needs to be taken on an individual basis. And only then can we arrive at the most optimal regime for you. So with this, we come to an end of the session. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. I will now open the floor for Q&A. So अगर आपके कोई भी questions है, please feel free to put them in the chat box, or you can also unmute yourself and ask the questions. या तो आप अपने क्वेश्चंस चैट पे डाल सकते हो, या यू कैन अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड आस्क द क्वेश्चंस. Okay, we have a question. In case Aadhaar and PAN is not linked and TDS got deducted and we link the same to avoid TDS, how can we get the previous TDS? So yes, this is a very good question. Thank you so much. So typically what happens if you have not linked your Aadhaar and PAN, a higher rate of TDS is deducted. All right. So once you link the Aadhaar and PAN, then you can go ahead and file your return. Whatever is the excess TDS deducted, that will be issued back to you in the form of a refund if you are eligible for the same. Next question, please. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, or you can also unmute yourself and ask the questions. We will wait for 5 more minutes. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. I think we don't have any questions. So we'll call this session to an end. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. And also a big thanks to Opportune HR for giving us this opportunity to conduct this session. We look forward to many more sessions, and we sincerely hope that this session was helpful to you and the learnings from this session will be applicable to you and you will implement the same. So thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.